everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand, head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there, best believe we're gonna do a two-step. Ain't no drama in here, so don't stress. Step to the right, then slide to the left.
Welcome to the Stephen Knight Show. Hope you're having a great Monday. Tonight we're back with the latest in sports, fashion, movie reviews, and of course, the best indie music out there. Now later in our show, we welcome activist and author Darnell Moore to talk about the climate of what's going on in our world today, and just, it's a very important conversation, I believe, so definitely stay tuned for that. Then in Hot Topics, talking everything from the mass shooting in Texas, of course, the divorce drama between Tamar and Vince, Braxton, and much, much more. I want to remind you, we're nominated for 3 ATL Hottest Entertainment Awards. We're nominated for Hottest Radio Show, Hottest Online Radio Personality, which is me, Stephen Knight, and then the Hottest Rising Superstar, Stephen Knight. So please go to atlhottest.com and vote for us. We definitely appreciate it. Or you can go on our website. There's a link there at StephenKnightShow.com. We're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram. And again, our website, StephenKnightShow.com, where you can listen to previous shows as well as learn more about us, the team. Well, listen, when we come back, Hot Topics, right back after this.
I wanna dance with you and put a ring on your hand and buy some land with you on the white sandwich. We can make it official and make plans to act like it didn't happen and dap it or shake hands. You can give me your number or put on your Ray-Bans, but such a wonderful woman's in need of a great man. And you ain't looking for love, but I am. So when I'm out at the club, I go ham. You want a man, but damn it, it's not the right time. I understand because your schedule was like mine. You're a RN, but get it in when it's nighttime. And you're quite fine. And I ain't just talking, girl, I can show you. Get you out the Corolla, buy you a Range Rover and get you some with a motor. The only problem is I don't know you. I'm trying to borrow your time, let me yo you. Let me get down.
Just wanna dance with you. Just you. Okay. Just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. Just you. I just wanna dance with you.
Now we out of the section, out on the dance floor, and we just made a connection, don't let your man know. You see it start with the texting and then we meeting up, and if it get to the section then we gon' be in love. I'ma meet your mother, you gon' meet the plug. We gon' be done jump the broom in this fucking club. It all started from a dance, now we popping bottles. You hit me on my Instagram, I just got your follow. You really want the romance, to hold hands and look in each other's eyes while we slow dance to slow jams and go camping with TPs and hammocks and walks on the beach with your feet in the sand. You wanna be a family, no you demand it. That real love like a hug from your granny. Ain't like my other girl, she was Spanish. Another cup and you'll be coming out them panties.
Just wanna dance with you. Just you. Just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. Just you. I just wanna dance with you. You ain't gon' find nothing better. You and me together. As long as you and me, we be down for whatever, yeah. You know you wanna dance. You ain't gon' find nothing better. You and me together. As long as you and me, we be down for whatever, yeah. Just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. Just you. I just wanna dance with you. Just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. Just you. I just wanna dance with you. I try. Now I'm trying hard to move on, yeah. And I'm trying hard not to hold on to the memories of what we used to be. But something happens every time I try. Baby, I'm trying to get over you, but there's something about the things you do to me. Every time you walk in the room, my knees get weak, I'm still into you. Trying, yeah, I'm trying hard to get over you, but it's hard, I'm still loving you. Now you say that you have moved on from me, but when I looked into your eyes, and you tried to take back all the love that you gave to me, but something happens every time you try. Maybe we should think this over. Maybe give love one more chance. Then we can find again all the love we had within. We will never know until we try. Baby, I'm trying to get over you, but there's something about the things you do to me. Every time you walk in the room, my knees get weak, I'm still into you. I'm trying, yeah, I'm trying hard to get over you, but it's hard, I'm still loving you. I know if you give love one more chance, you will see that I'm a better man than when we were together, baby. Just give it one more try, 'cause baby, I'm trying to get over you, but there's something about the things you do to me. Every time you walk in the room, my knees get weak, I'm still into you. I'm trying hard to get over you, but I'm still loving you. I'm trying to get over you, but there's something about the things you do to me. Every time you walk in the room, my knees get weak, I'm still into you. I'm trying hard to get over you, but it's hard, I'm still loving you.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Miss Parker, how's it going?
Hey, happy Monday. How are you?
I'm good. Happy Monday. How was your weekend?
Never had a bad weekend. It was great. How was yours?
It was good. I didn't do a whole lot, but it was good. You know, just hanging with friends. I hung up with you some this weekend, and you know, kind of laid back, which is always a good thing sometimes. Because last weekend we were in New York.
Right. I think we talked about that on Monday, did we not, or no?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, CK?
What's going on? Hey, Miss Parker.
Hey.
How was your weekend, CK?
How are you guys? Oh, my weekend was good. Yeah, I did the Heart Walk for the American Heart Association this weekend. It was fabulous. It's always a great event. It's always great to get together with other people in the health industry, and you know, all of it was for a great cause, and it just was good vibes, good feelings, and you know, different people walked for different family members or different reasons. It was just great to congregate. Yeah. I walked for my father, who is now deceased, but he had a few strokes while he was still alive, so I walk in his name, in his honor.
Wow, that's amazing. All right. Well, our question of the day is, could you be friends with someone who cheats on their significant other? We had some very interesting responses on Facebook, but what are your thoughts, Ms. Parker?
I don't know what you would consider friends, but I think that people's personal business is as long as it's not affecting me and it doesn't put me in a compromising position. I think that I'm not the moral police. You know what I mean? Somebody can look at my life and something else. So if the person's behavior is not affecting me, and I think everybody knows who they have, so I think that I may choose not to be around it when the person is actively engaging in it. But like I said, I'm not the moral police, and so we all have our flaws and faults, and that's kind of between the two of them. So yes.
Okay. What about you, Chike?
Exactly what Ms. Parker said. I feel the exact same way. To each his own. I mean, they're going to have to be the ones to pay the piper for that.
Right.
Indiscretion.
Yeah, I this question because I was watching Married to Medicine. They had the premiere last night, and Dr. Jackie's husband is having an affair on her, and so Dr. Heavily, who's been on the show, she was having a conversation with her husband about it, and he was saying that that's between them, and that he still is cool with Dr. Jackie's husband, and Dr. Heavily was like, well, how can you be cool with him? I mean, the way he did that to her. And so I thought it was interesting, interesting question. I know we talked about something similar to this where I know, Ms. Parker, you made a good point about, if it's affecting you, then that's when you kind of distance yourself. But if it's not, then it's really, like you said, it's between those two. So,
right. If I don't know, I don't watch the show, but if he was putting him in a compromising position where the cheating was going on in front of his face and he was forced to lie about it to the wife, and that's too much. That's getting other people involved.
Yeah.
In that situation, I think it's between them two.
Yeah. Well, go to tweet us, Stephen Nice Show, SHO, and let us know what are your thoughts. Could you be friends with someone who cheats on their significant other? All right, hot topic. So, sadly, 26 people were killed over the weekend when a man named David P. Kelly, opened fire at a Baptist church in Texas. There's a list of names out there, but Johnny Langendorf, he was on the scene when the shooting took place. So apparently he went outside. Well, he was outside and he saw the gunman. Someone ran up to him and told him what had happened, and so they pursued, the gunman, causing him to crash. And he was dead when they got to him, and they said he had a self-inflicted wound on him. He's being celebrated as a hero. What are your thoughts on, just, back-to-back, these type of murders and massacres? What are your thoughts on this?
In my mind, I believe that there's a wave of insanity happening in our country.
Yeah.
And one thing I heard someone speak about, and the president actually talked about this, and not that I think he's the brightest man in the world, but I do agree with this statement that he said. It's not a gun issue, it's a mental health issue, because guns don't shoot people on their own. It's the people behind the guns. And I think that the climate in this country is changing, and it's forcing people to behave in certain ways. And everyone can't take the pressure.
Yeah.
And they snap. And I'm not making excuses for anyone, but when it comes to gun laws, I think that maybe the criteria of how you are issuing license for people should change. Maybe they need to have some type of mental screening before they can actually have a license to have a gun. I don't know. Something just needs to change.
I totally disagree. I totally disagree. I think when I saw that statement, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing he could have said during this time. That it's not a gun issue, it's a mental health issue. It could be both. I can see him acknowledging the fact that there are issues, that this is a complicated issue that may be involving multiple reasons why people do the things they do. But I will say this, there is no reason for a citizen, you and I, regular people, having those type of guns. No law should ever be passed that allow people to have those type of weapons that can shoot off multiple rounds. Those weapons were
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that, but you have to admit that there are people that already have that type of capability because of the type of jobs that they have. Some people are in the military, and they may have post-traumatic stress disorder, and they already have capability to get those guns. They have access to them already because of the jobs that they have. So it's not necessarily your regular citizen that can get access to the guns.
About 80% of them are regular citizens. Yes, he was in the military, but the military did not issue the gun that he got. He actually was able to buy the gun. And the crazy thing is, in that state, they've been trying to pass a law that stated anybody who have a felony can and he has a felony based on his violent background. And they still gave him the gun because the NRA is pushing money down our government officials, and
that is insanity.
And so it is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that people who do have mental illness are able to go with the driver's license and purchase a gun that can shoot off 80 rounds. What? 80 rounds? That 80 rounds to be reloaded. It's completely madness. So it is a gun issue. It's a gun issue, and it's a mental health issue, and it's a lot of other issues. It's a political issue. It is a money issue. It's all of those things.
And this guy had
the fact that it's a gun issue is to me, it's irresponsible from the President of the United States.
And this guy had a very tainted background. He had domestic violence against his kids, against his wife. He was put out of the military for his behavior, and he was not supposed to be able to purchase a gun. And somehow he got this one and went into a house of worship where people go to relieve their stress and to praise God and to be a community, and he killed 26 people. And if it wasn't for this gentleman, another guy who ran him off, he could have killed more people. You know.
And this is just what we're hearing of in these instances are people that have licensure to go out and get these guns.
Mm-hmm.
People don't talk about there are guns that you can buy where you don't even need a license. You can just go buy it. And we're talking about shotguns. It's not the automatic guns or the handguns, but anyone can go in and buy just a rifle and have a gun in their house. So it's not – I'm not going to say it's not about the laws because – they won't be able to do mass killings, but even still, I think that in order for you to have any type of weapon in your home to kill someone else, we need to gate that. That needs to be monitored because everyone is not mentally capable of handling that.
Right.
You do more due diligence with people behind the wheel of a car than you do with people with automatic or not even automatic guns.
Right. Yeah. Well, our thoughts and prayers are with that city or that town and the victims and their families and friends. All right, switching gears. So Tamar, I don't know if you heard, but Tamar has filed divorce against her husband, Vincent Herbert, of 9 years. A video went out where they interviewed her mother over the weekend, and she says that Vincent had been very violent towards Tamar and that he needed to keep keep his hands to himself or he kills Tamar. Well, apparently Tamar is not interested at all in getting back with Vince. She said that she has, been through this tumultuous marriage for too long and she's done for good. So she's focused on her family, being with her family, her friends, focusing on her career and her personal life. She's already moved out the home and she's been telling friends, Vince wants to go to counseling, but Tamar is not interested at all. She will continue to promote the reality show Tamar and Vince, but she's doing the press tour by herself. What are your thoughts on all this?
So I guess that biting rumor was true.
Oh, at the airport? Was that at the airport?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there were several. There was at the airport and one at the hotel. It's really challenging for me to comment on these type of entertainment stories, and I know that's part of my job on your show because obviously I'm not an advocate of. I do not advocate domestic violence in any relationship, and I believe from what I have seen that their relationship was toxic. But in situations like this, when stuff is so personal and there are accusations that we're watching from the outside, if it was, a family member between you and I, I can choose, make that statement like, I feel like he did it or not. Either way, but when things are so far removed from us and we're just watching it based on media and what somebody else is reporting and what somebody else is saying, obviously her mother went out and had some concerns, and I feel like it's a bad situation whenever violence is in a relationship. But I think that as the public in situations like this, we need to leave it alone, let the people who are in it deal with it.
Mm-hmm. I think the only thing interesting about it is that the reality show is coming out this week, where it's kind of interesting, and I'm not saying whether anything's true or false, but the fact that they're documenting all this in a reality show that's coming out this week, and that's when everything's starting to hit the fan, it's kind of interesting timing. But I do wish them both the best, and no man should be abusive towards a woman. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. What are your thoughts, Chica?
All I can do is pray for these people. And in the past, Tamar has had a history of relationships where there has been violence. So, I mean, she's no stranger.
She did say that. Yeah, well, I pray they get the resolution they need. Well, here's a funny story. So they're calling this woman Julie Brisman a true American hero. So she was bike riding, 50-year-old lady, bike riding on Halloween, and she works for a government firm. And so she was bike riding, and the presidential motorcade drove by her, and she gave them the bird. And so the picture went viral, and she went and told her boss that was her in the picture. So they fired her. And she said, I wasn't even at work when I did it, but they told me I violated the code of conduct policy. Now, our bosses they haven't returned any emails or requests for comments. They showed her their social media rule when they fired her. She said, here's what was going through my head. Really? You're golfing again. That's why she flicked off the motorcade. The company she works for, they failed to discipline or fire a senior executive who made anti-Black Lives Matter comments. So now Brisman, this lady, she has contacted the American Civil Liberties Union about her firing. Do you think she has a case?
Well, let me ask a question. Did she post the picture?
No, someone posted a picture and went viral.
So how did she break the code?
She told them it was her.
She just told them that it was her. Someone else took the picture and then posted it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did she break the code?
I don't know.
She was a victim.
Yeah.
I think she has a case.
That shouldn't apply if she didn't. I could see it maybe if she shared it or if somebody else posted it and she was not, I don't want to say unaware, but if it was being posted on not directly by her, I don't see how her social media policy is even something that they should be concerned with. And then if that is something, that should be something that is looked at from the top down. Because pretty much everyone will probably be fired if they looked in everybody's account.
Exactly.
Right.
All night long, 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 she follow me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. Tell me what you came for. Did you come to play with it? Did you come to be my bad girl? Hey, let me be ashamed, gripping on your waist. Go ahead now. We grinding, we wildin', cause we don't care. We wildin', we rubbing like no one's here. If I push up on it, will you go there? Trust me, you'll go there. All night long, she follow me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. All night long, she follow me. When she want that, she call me. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. 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 Back up one time, tuck it back on it. Back up one time, tuck it back on it. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that. Tell me, can you handle it? Tell me right now before we walk out this club, girl. Hey, baby, where your hands? Thought you had a man, no, damn, baby. We grinding, we wildin', cause we don't care. pretend like no one's there. If I push up on it, will you go there? Hey baby, trust me, you'll go there. All night long, she all on me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. All night long, she all on me. When she want that, she call on me. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. 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 Back up one time, touch it back on it. Back up one time, touch it back on it. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. All night long, she all on me. Tell her, come get this, she follow me. All night long, she all on me. When she want that, she call on me. All night long, she 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 all night long. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that. Back up one time, touch it back on it. Back up one time, touch it back on it. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl. I'ma get that girl, let's get that girl.
If the stars were aligned when we met, never thought you'd be someone I'd get. Basically, it blew my mind. I was standing by your side. You turned and walked away without telling me why. Tell me what it is that make you wanna flee. Tell me what it is that made you up and leave. 'Cause I didn't deserve it. Really hope it was worth it. It's gonna be hard to find out. Raindrops falling down on the rooftop. Baby, I can seem to stop the raindrops. Ever since you walked away, babe, I can seem to wash away the raindrops. Falling from my eyes constantly. Baby, I wish you could see the raindrops. They're pouring down on me. Will these raindrops leave? Now I thought that things were truly fine, and I didn't realize our well went dry. Sacrificed all of my time, basically gave up my life. Oh, I hope the grass is greener on the other side. The next relationship I find, I'll be more accepting of someone worthy. 'Cause leave is not an option. You gotta proceed with caution. 'Cause no more ugly wounds will my heart bleed. Oh no. Raindrops falling down on the rooftop. Baby, I can see the sky. Raindrops. Ever since you walked away, babe, I can seem to wash away. Raindrops falling from my eyes constantly. I wish you could see the rain on me. Raindrops on me. Everything, but you turned and walked away, left with no words to say, leaving me held at bay. Not when we meant to be, but now it's so clear to see that you just weren't ready. Now raindrops falling down on the rooftop. Baby, I can't seem to stop the raindrops. Ever since you walked away, babe, I can't seem to wash away the raindrops. Falling from my eyes constantly. Baby, I wish you could see the raindrops. They're pouring down on me. Will these raindrops leave?
This is Darnell Moore, editor-at-large at CASSIUSLife.com. You're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
It sounds like her bosses are Trump supporters, and they got offended.
Oh, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound like it. That's what it is.
Exactly. Well, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. I want to remind you, we're all over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and, of course, our official website, thestephennightshow.com. All right, so your boy Tyrese, after claiming victory in court in his doctor's child abuse case, Tyrese couldn't resist celebrating his win at home. Now, he took to social media to share that he had been in touch with Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. To show proof that he was on the phone, he took a picture, and he has her saved his phone as actress Jada Pinkett Smith. He says, "Sometimes you just need one phone call. Just know that God is great. They don't owe me love. They told me to go easy. Just know that it's just good to know that there are some really nice, sincere people out there. Jada Pinkett Smith and my hero Will Smith. Not only does your heart beat for Sheila, it beats for the world. We love and appreciate you more, thank you, than you ever know." Now, he followed that post where he claims that the couple paid him $5 million to pay for his legal fees and stay off social media, something he clearly didn't do. Now, he said, "My wife kept the news away from me. I've been on with lawyers all day, but our family and our sister, Jada Pinkett Smith, and my brother Will Smith, just sent us $5 million to help keep us afloat. You guys asked me to get off and stay off the internet now that my daughter's legal fees are paid." So do you think that he needs to give Will and Jada this money back since he's back on social media, telling all their business and telling the fact that they gave him money? What are your thoughts on all that?
He's crazy, and honestly, I think that he's a narcissist. So obviously you're not gonna be able to keep him off of social media because that's where he feeds his soul. He feeds his attention. Is what feeds his ego.
Right.
Regardless if it's bad or good attention, he just wants it. There's no amount of money that's going to keep him off the internet, and it's crazy because if they really think about it, before they gave him that money, he's irrational. A month ago, he was posting how he had a private jet and he was flying to Dubai, and then all of a sudden you're broke and can't pay legal fees. Like, it's just he does whatever it takes to get attention. He does whatever it takes to get that constant feed of people commenting him and him being in the spotlight. Honestly, I think he needs help. That's just my bottom line.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a peek into the window of what The Rock was dealing with. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because, even last week when he posted the video crying about his daughter, right after he posted that, his next post was about The Rock, talking drunk about The Rock again. I think that Tyrese everyone doesn't need social media. Some people don't know what to do with it. And I think that he's tarnishing his brand. It's going to make people not want to work with him. And people lose respect for him. I think Will and Jada gave him that money not to, blast it on social media, but to help him out. I probably would feel some kind of way if you're sharing that kind of personal information. Anyway. All right, Tyrese. All right, did y'all watch the premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta last night?
Yeah, I did.
So the big story is over Kenya Moore and her husband, Mark Daly. Of course, she's been very private about their elopement. She didn't invite her father. She didn't invite anyone from the show. She said that, it was just really 4 people there. Well, she's also refusing to film with her husband. She did share a few details last night while she was chatting with Nene and Cynthia at Cynthia's house. She said she told him to call her baby to protect his identity and share that they live separately. They live separately because Moore Manor she said there's been ghosts visiting her, where people are thinking she's referring to her ex-boyfriend Matt Jordan. She said ghosts have been walking around in here, and I want a new life. She also followed up, and she said, I believe that you get married, you should move into a new home together to build a new life, to each his own. # Kenya Moore, # Real Housewives of Atlanta. Do you think that her marriage is real?
I mean, that show is not really real. A lot of this stuff is scripted, so I can't be for sure. And, I hate to keep preaching this, but, she's come from a long line of mental illness, and she's behaved in that way ever since she's been on the show. So I don't know. It's mindless entertainment, something that I just do, free time, guilty pleasure, keep up with it. But I don't really give it that much thought, I don't know. Honestly, it could be anything. It could be scripted. It could be it could be just a storyline just to keep us entertained. I'm not sure.
Right.
And that's how I feel. I feel like it's like an open pit of sensationalism, something to keep referring back to keep, the spotlight on her. Yeah.
And she's known, her character, quote-unquote character on the show, is known for hiring or been accused of hiring men to be, her love interest on the show. And they said that she
what's her name? Sheree. She's the perfect example of if you don't have a storyline, you get fired.
Right, yeah. All right, well, I guess we keep watching, huh? Well, last story. So Diddy has a new name again. The bad boy and Revolt TV head is currently celebrating his 48th birthday in Mexico with Cassie, French Montana, and his kids. Well, he made an announcement over the weekend. According to Diddy, he no longer will answer to Diddy, just love or brother love. He said, hey, y'all, I have some very serious news. I've been praying on this, and I've decided, I know it's risky, and I know it's corny to some people, but I decided to change my name again. I'm just not who I was before. I'm something different. What are your thoughts on Brother Love?
They can call him whatever he wants. He's a corny hot mess.
That is Sean Combs. That's his name.
Right. All right.
I can't keep up.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you have as much money as he has, you can call yourself whatever you want to be called. Brother Love, Diddy, Puffy. Well, listen, y'all, thanks so much for Hot Topic today. Ms. Parker, have a great week. Chike, I'll see you in movie reviews.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good week, guys.
All right, you too.
Bye.
You too.
Right back after this.
That shit gon' bang. Niggas won't fuck with that shit.
Hey, Prano, what's poppin'? Yeah.
Hey, yo, Saint Soprano.
Broad Street Bully. Niggas already snow sticks. It's Philly in this bitch. Bully line, bitch.
Moolery. Black Forbes, lady.
Big B's, bitch.
Stay proud.
Ain't not bigger than a motherfucking beat on nigga. Never the one G gang. Do this for the gang, bang. You a dub nigga, bang. I'ma hold it real right. Herg life, stack up in the chain gang. Ran up from the plug twice. Dug life, feet blood, nigga, bang. Red light, green light, same lane. I'ma hold it bang. Do this for the gang, bang. You a dub nigga, bang. I'ma hold it real right. Herg life, stack up in the chain gang. Ran up from the plug twice. Dug life, feet blood, nigga, bang. Red light, green light, same lane. I'ma hold it bang.
I don't gang bang, but my gang do. Ain't nothing bigger than that beat, bitch. Yeah, it's me, bitch. Bully like, clip drill, long ass gang. I'll pull that shit, get the hitting shit, get your wig pushed back. Bitch nigga on the plate, dub, plug ass nigga. I shine for mine, what your life like? What a thug about, nigga? Nigga shine up and get lined up. What's your body count, nigga? My nigga stanked up, don't get flanked up. Don't get your body felt, nigga. Dig a hole 6 feet, more sunny, more east, black. Slide booty, big heat, deuce, 3 strike. SP, GK, yeah, that big beat a flag. It's that bully gang, and I pull it gang, I put your body in the bag.
Do this for the gang, bang. You a dub nigga, bang. I'ma hold it real right. Herg life, stack up in the chain gang. Ran up from the plug twice. Dug life, feet blood, nigga, bang. Red light, green light, same lane. I'ma hold it bang. Do this for the gang, bang. You a dub nigga, bang. I'ma hold it real right. Herg life, stack up in the chain gang. Ran up from the plug twice. Dug life, feet blood, nigga, bang. Red light, green light, same lane. I'ma hold it bang.
Said you heard a nigga gang bang. All my niggas do the same thing. Get a brother, nigga take aim. Red light, green light, bang bang. All I gotta say is go when it's green light go. Pull up to the block at the fucking light show. Everybody like where the fucking lights go. That bad motherfucker, I ain't talking my go. Say you all heard the shine gang. Bully family in my gang. Said you all heard the shine gang. Bully family in my gang.
It's a bully to a bully.
It's the bully with the bullies.
Get the word and they gon' pull it.
Chop it with the full clip. Make them do a full flip. I ain't with the bullshit. What's a bull to a matador? That is what the bull get. I feel it in the air. These niggas, they reply. I make them feel it in their head. Why the fuck you think the clock is on?
Do this for the gang, bang. You a dub nigga, bang. I'ma hold it real Hurt life, stack up in the chain gang. Run up from the plug twice, thug life, we blood, nigga, bang, bang. Red light, green light, same lane, I'm all the bang, bang. Do this for the gang, 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 bang. You a dumb nigga, bang, bang. I'm all the real right, hurt life, stack up in the chain gang. Run up from the plug twice, thug life, we blood, nigga, bang, bang. Red light, green light, same lane, I'm all the bang, bang. Do this for the gang, 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 bang. You a dumb nigga, bang, bang. I'm all the real right, hurt life, stack up in the chain gang. Run up from the plug twice, thug life, we blood, nigga, bang, bang. Red light, green light, same lane, I'm all the bang, 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 bang.
You know, when you love somebody, you gotta treat them kind, yeah. And if you out there and you got that good one, never let her go. Let me tell you why. I took her love for granted, and she stole my heart, left me stranded. What I do to get it all back, my love, my time we kissed, oh, I'll treasure, 'cause missing those lips are now forever gone too soon. Oh, hey. Just to get that moment back, baby, it's driving me crazy. Yeah, I gotta work it out. Protect that woman, protect her heart, yeah, treat her right, yeah, yeah. You never miss a good thing till she's gone, yeah. Then you find yourself all alone. If you hear what I'm saying, yeah, gotta work it out.
What's up, y'all? We are Jill's Diary, and you're listening to The Stephen Knight Show.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our guest tonight, Darnell Moore, is editor-at-large at CASSIUS, a iOne, digital platform, and formerly a senior editor and correspondent at Mike. He is the co-managing editor at the Feminist Wire and writer-in-resident at the Center of African American Religion, Sexual Politics, and Social Justice at Columbia University. Along with NFL player Wade Davis, he co-founded You Belong, a social good company focused on development of diversity initiatives. Please help me welcome activist and author Darnell Moore. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I hate hearing that bio.
No, I don't know why. I mean, I had to go a few times. I mean, you do so much. You've done so much. How did you get involved in this type of work?
Life. I grew up in Camden, New Jersey. My family is still there. And much of, the things that I write about or I work on in the world comes as a direct result of what I experienced and what my people experienced. So everything from, economic disenfranchisement to, the type of violence that the police meted out on us, the violence we meted out on one another, from, all the things that I've experienced and witnessed in my life were the things that taught me.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
And so I know you did work with early on with Black Lives Matter. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So Black Lives Matter as a slogan on the social media was developed by Alicia Garza, Patrisse Cullors, Opal Tometi in 2013, and so this is right after George Zimmerman walked free for killing Trayvon Martin.
Right.
A year later, when Mike Brown was killed, one of those founders, Patrisse and I, co-organized what we called the Black Lives Matter Freedom Ride. So about 500 people traveled from across the country and Toronto into Ferguson at the invitation of organizers there to sort of stand up for justice and to say that Ferguson was Philly, Ferguson is Camden, Ferguson is Baltimore, Ferguson is America. And we wanted them to leave and go back to their own places and try to do transformative work there. All that to say, so I was part of the group that helped to develop the Black Lives Matter Global Network, which is now a little bit more than I guess maybe 50 chapters across the world.
Exactly.
It's been a busy few years.
Right, it has been, definitely. So what do you say when people, because I think, you hear it all the time in the news and people come out all the time and say, they try to explain what the Black Lives Matter movement means when people say, like, all lives matter. What is it that you have to say to people like that?
So first, I tend to not even, I don't argue with racists anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't argue with homophobes. My thing is, this is a generation where Google is here and people can learn, they just choose not to.
Right.
For the All Lives Matter folk, I always point to the reality that we face. If all lives matter, then it wouldn't just be some lives or some bodies packed in our jails and our prisons.
Exactly.
It would just be some bodies and some lives deadened by police every time we come in contact with them, whether we're armed or not. It wouldn't just be some lives that are more disproportionately affected by poverty, more impacted by health concerns, ... I mean, reality is history and our current state of affairs. If we look around, it's very clear that in this country and around the world that all lives don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't argue with folk around that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's like, what's the point? Any one of us who knows, if we're black and we've been living in this country, we know very well that this country owes us more than just the slogan and more than
right.
Based on this treatment.
Exactly. And what are your thoughts on the whole, it started by Colin Kaepernick and some others, but, the whole kneeling during the national anthem, and now you see more and more NFL players doing, well, actually across different sports, but they're doing it. But then there's also the backlash from the team owners. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I big up to all of the folks that are out here willing to lose some shit, risk some shit, for the sake of justice. And, Colin Kaepernick has taken some L's, right, for taking a knee. And I think that, this is deeply connected to a long history of black athletes, from those who stood and put their fist up in the air to Olympics, right, back in the day to so, like, this is a long history of what athletes have done. I think it is time, though, for black athletes, particularly those who are multimillionaires. Part of it is, we do, if you really love black people and you want justice for us, all of us collectively, we have to take some L sometimes. So I'm loving it. I'm loving the folk who are boycotting the NFL, the folks who are holding its own corporation responsible for the fact that it has all of these black players that they're making millions of dollars off of, but can't but refuse to care about our issues. Yeah, I'm giving them big ups.
I definitely feel you there. So, a lot of people think, well, they feel, especially since the campaign, but with the current administration, that there's a divisiveness that you can just feel it. Like, I think it was crazy that in Charlottesville, Virginia, you could see white nationalists and the Ku Klux Klan walking with their, faces out there. They're uncovered, walking in the middle of the streets, doing their type of protest. What do you think is the key to? Do you think that it's gotten worse due to the current administration, or do you feel like it was always there, but we're just noticing. What are your thoughts on everything with that?
I mean, this is America, and if nothing else, so racial antagonism and white supremacy has been present. We know that. And I think what this administration has done is embolden the otherwise white racists who would hide behind a sheet to uncover them. So this is like white racism 2.0. Like at CASSIUS, we just did our most recent cover. Is exactly that. The title is called "They Still Effing Hate Us," which is to say that they always have been, but now we have an administration when a government, when the head state can be the type of example for what this sort of new version of racism looked like. Of course, people going to be more bold about doing what they typically would have been doing anyway.
Yeah, that's true. What do you think the key to what can people do? Black people, but especially people collectively. What can they do to help with all this? To bring this. I think racism is always going to be there, unfortunately. But what can we do? The numbers, because you see a lot of people with the protests and demonstrations, especially after the election. There were people of all different nationalities, races, and whatever. What do you feel that we can do collectively to help combat all this?
So I mean, this might sound like it's a mix of probably a horrible and a maybe hopeful answer.
Okay.
But I guess I'll start by saying, like, I really have less hope in our ability as a nation to really to rid ourselves of all of, let's call it we have some demons that a history of violence to not just black people who we enslaved, but to indigenous people whose land we've stolen, and down the line, and it's a country that has built wealth and prominence in the world off of such power. And anytime you build wealth and prominence off of violent acts, you're not going to stop those violent acts. So I have no hope that the saving of the country can come from a country itself that's built on those things. So that's where I'll start. Having said that, though, I do believe a couple things. We are a people, black. I mean, I could specifically talk about black people. I think we need to do all we can to love the hell out of one another. That is to say, like, if we live in a society that does its best to tear us down, we can turn around and do that to one another. So simple ways to begin is, well, how does one survive under conditions that they weren't meant to survive in? And that is, we got to be the love anchors for one another. That means we can't be in our community hating on folk that are different than us, LGBT folk. We can't be in our communities as men saying that we love black people and harming women and girls. We can't, you can't say you love your community and then, making our people sick with the drugs that we're giving them on the streets. I believe our way of black people, what we ought to do is not do to each other what the system and the state does to us. That's a start. White folk, they need to go and gather their people. Like, I want to see white activists who are good, whatever, let's call them well-meaning, people-loving human beings. They need to be the ones on the front line in places like Charlottesville. They need to be the ones calling out and protesting in front of the White House and taking those rubber bullets that the cops want to meet out when black people do it. They need to help the streets, and I want to see them. Like I said, Colin Kaepernick took an L for taking a knee. They need to take an L. A couple L's, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say it because I remember after Eminem did his performance at the BET Hip Hop Awards recently, he got a lot of backlash from the black community saying, well, I remember someone was saying that, black artists have been doing this for a while now, and my response to that was, we need our white brothers and sisters to step up because, unfortunately, the fact that Eminem is white, his voice is heard louder than, a black artist who's been doing it all along. Do you feel the same way with that?
Look, I'm like, even if the rhyme wasn't that dope,
right.
I'm here for it. Like, dude, do what you. Let the man speak to his people.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's talk about your work at CASSIUS now. You're the editor-at-large. Tell us about your work there.
Yeah, so first, CASSIUS, and everybody should check it out, CASSIUSlife.com is a digital media project under Urban One. So Urban One is our parent company. So this is home to TV One and Radio One and iOne. So you all know TV One, the cable station, Radio One. We have about 53 radio stations across the country. It's the largest black media conglomerate started by Kathy Hughes.
Yes.
And this is one of our digital enterprises, along with, we have Madame Noir, Hello Beautiful, Global Grind, News One, Bossa, Hip Hop Wired are also part of our digital media family. So CASSIUS is focused on millennials, sort of a male-centered focus, lifestyle, culture, politics, and it's upbeat. It's really driven by millennials. Most of our writers are millennials here, our writers and editors, and I'm here doing both. Helping on the editorial side, growing the site, growing our team, and helping to bring shape to that along with my colleagues, and also as talent. So one of the things I'm working on, I'm producing a doc right now. So we use video and flat content, written content to try to do a different take on black culture and lifestyle at this point in time. We want to do something different. And it's beautiful stuff we do. I mean, it's visually compelling. Our executive director of style, fashion is Marielle Bobo. Most of our staff, senior staff, comes from the print magazine world. So Karen Amayo is our head. She's the senior vice president. She was formerly the editor-in-chief of Ebony magazine. So we have to and pulling all the elements, the good elements that we had in print magazine culture into the digital space. So it's dope. I hope people check it out.
Most definitely. That's CASSIUSlife.com, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And so why do you think a publication like this is important? And I have my ideas around it, but why do you think it's important, especially for millennials, to see?
Yeah, I mean, we need to, black folk and black and brown people, period. One, the media market, the mainstream media market is absent of so many of black talent, right?
Right.
And we know that if we want the stories to be out, if we want the narratives represented, the people that we know and look up to be upheld, we got to create the platforms to do that. So this is yet another opportunity to provide space, or at least to intervene in a media world that doesn't always it doesn't do right by black folk. It makes money off of us. Hashtagging the hell out of our lives, and people making money off our culture, off of black trauma and death, off everything we create, but does not put us in positions of ownership. To not only to lead, but to own the platforms through which we're telling our story. So it's vitally important that we have as many. And look, I want more and more of this, right?
Exactly.
All of our stories and narratives can be centered.
Exactly. It's interesting talking about the whole NFL. I know Diddy, he came out and asked the players to boycott a game, and he said, "What we need to have black owners. We need to have black, the key players being African American, to have our own." You know what I mean? I think that's very important. Definitely very important. Where do you see us as a people in the next 10 years?
That's a good question. I don't know if I ever thought. Look, alive. That's
right. That's the main thing, right?
My freedom dream is that we're alive and not continuing to be killed, either fast death or slow deaths, right? I think that I love the fact that the cusp of change and transformation is always at the tips of our fingers. At any moment, we can create ripples and movements, and I love that there is this black love is always present, but to be reminded of necessity is so good. So I'm hoping that 10 years from now we are just as turned up about demanding liberty and life as ever. That shit don't die out when we get comfortable, when we get a little bit more money in our paycheck, when white cops stop shooting black kids. We need to be vigilant always. because new racism will exist. It'll just look different.
Exactly.
You know, economic disenfranchisement will look different. It'll still be here. The shit will look different. Black women and girls will still might not be safe walking down the street in the neighborhoods they live in because some dude want to touch up on them. Like that shit we need to be ever vigilant about. Like 10 years, I want us to be just a turn. And I want us owning the platforms and spaces where we can give to the community the type of knowledges we need, the materials, and connect them with the people we need so that we can truly change.
Do you think that, especially during the civil rights movement, do you feel like the people as a whole were more quote-unquote woke than they are in today's society?
I think it was the same. I think I was certain that there were people there who, there were folk who thought Martin Luther King was too much. And he was black folk.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be those who are like flowing with the movements that come along, and there will be those who resist it.
It's true.
There are also going to be black folk who feel like shit is cool. I mean, look at some of the clowns we got in office right now. Like,
oh my gosh.
We have a Supreme Court justice and a head of the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even want to say their names. Like,
embarrassing.
Who actually, we've always had coons, right? Like,
right.
Who relied on and made excuses for white racist supremacy. Like, that's always the case. I do think that the means of technology that we have might make it might allow for us to sort of commune differently. So back in the day, they had to do stage actions on the street to get newspapers to cover the stories so that these stories could actually resonate with people across the country. Today, wait that long.
Yeah.
I can go on Twitter and post a video of somebody doing me wrong right in real time. So it might feel as if the sort of conversations have accelerated because we have news instruments that we can use to tell us.
Yeah, technology. Do you think we'll see another black president in our lifetime?
I don't know if I'll see one in mine. Look, I'm 41. I'm not necessarily sure. The reason why we have Trump is partly because of
a result. Resisting.
Revulsion,
Yeah.
Because of Obama being in that.
I was watching a documentary on CNN. They were talking about you can tell how progressive a country or a nation has become, not by the first, but how soon it takes to elect the second, be it a African American or a female. Like everyone thought, Hillary Clinton was going to win, but not the first, but the second. I think that made a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, what do you want Darnell L. Moore's legacy to be?
That's a good question. I hope that I always say I just want to be able to do whatever I can, contribute as much as I can while I can, and as much as so many times we talk real big, and but I legit mean like I want to be like remembered for loving the hell out of my family, for loving my city, for loving Camden, for being an example. I think hopefully a good enough example for my nieces and nephews. Loving my folk. That's what and any position or anything that comes my way, I try my best to use any outlet, any door that I get allowed into. I want to bring people with me along the way.
Most definitely. And let me say this, that you and I'll make sure I say this correctly because I was impressed reading your bio that you publish articles in MSNBC, The Guardian, Huffington Post, Ebony, The Root, The Advocate, Out Magazine, Gawker, Truth Out, Vice. I mean, so you've done a lot and received a lot of awards. So I say this how would you, if someone is, looking for that, to follow in your steps, in your footsteps, or looking to break out in their own way, maybe doing the same kind of work, what is the persistence, the resilience it takes for a person to achieve that?
Yeah, so I always tell people to, one, hone in on your passion.
Yeah.
And that passion, I mean the thing that wakes you up in the middle of the night or the thing that keeps you from falling asleep. What is it, the thing that you feel like the universe, that God even put you on this planet to do.
Right.
And chase that thing down. And oftentimes, chasing down one's passion does not necessarily mean that things like rewards like money are going to come right away. So most, I have like a byline where I publish in a lot of different places, but the reality is I was not paid for most of those freelance writing gigs I did.
Right.
I'm not right. I do think that artists ought to be compensated for their work. So I'm saying clearly,
right.
I should have been, but I wasn't. Part of my reason for doing it is because I was trying to develop my craft as a writer, as a thinker, as a sort of public person that was interested in like engaging in public conversation, and I wasn't necessarily trying to get rich off of that. So like when I started writing, it's because like it was my way of using the pen to protest, to speak back, where I felt like I needed to say something. Now, fast forward some years, and I'm paid.
Right.
Like, to do exactly what I set out to do. I sort of created, So I say passion, figure out what it is, and chase that thing down, and to realize too, like anything I do, like if it's not in some way impacting my people, I don't want to do it. Like like where it's so easy to become any type of celebrity, ABRC
these days, yeah.
Avatar that we create on social media, and I'm like, that shit is not what people are going to remember.
Exactly.
I know that popularity comes and goes. I might be a hot today, but that don't mean I will be tomorrow. So the thing that got to hold us down is our work. People remember you, the work that you did, by the way you treated them, by the legacy you left, by virtue of how you built things up in the world, right? So I say, like, we got to remember to focus not on the small, like the easy, low-hanging fruit wins, like getting 10,000 followers or our blue check next to our names on social media. Like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Right. Like, yeah.
Contributing to get a better place. And that's the fundamental question I think folks should answer.
Most definitely. What's next for you?
So I just finished my first book. It's well, actually, my first book was a book I edited, a photo book on the barbershops, actually. But this book is my first authored book. It's called No Ashes in the Fire, Coming of Age, Black and Free in America. You can actually go on Pals, Amazon, and pre-order it. It won't be out until spring of next year, but it's out in the world for pre-order now. And so I'll be talking more about the book and traveling around, I guess, giving book talks and things along the way. And then the documentary I'm working on, which is actually a look at, it's called, what is it called? It's called Got Something to Say.
Okay.
A history of Black LGBT life in Atlanta. And part of the reason why we did this is, people love to talk about LGBT movements, and they're making money off of these mainstream movements and movies. And so often Black people are left out of those conversations, and particularly Black people from the South. So this is really a document in the same way that, Andre 3000 back in the day said, the South got something to say. It was our way of saying Black LGBT people in the South, they got something to say too, and we wanted to honor that here at CASSIUS. So that'll be out around Black History Month 2018.
Most definitely. Well, tell everybody how they can keep up with you.
So on Instagram, I'm there. I think I got to actually look at it, but I think it's at @Moore_Darnell. Saint on Instagram. It's Moore Darnell on Facebook. I have like a little public page that's also under the same name, but I'm easily found on all these. Look, I'll really just be posting just my outfits. That's it. You'll see me post a lot.
Well, listen, Darnell Moore, I want to thank you so much, man, for joining us tonight. I mean, and thank you for the work that you're doing for our community and for so many communities. So I want to, again, thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man. And listen, for more information about Darnell Moore, please go to our website, thestevenknightshow.com, and we will be right back after this.
Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Thank you.
Baby, if you only knew things that I wanted to do to you when we first met, thinking like the boys do, then you got me with my nose wide open, tables turned, now I'm the one who who's overprotective. I see them looking when they pass, but I'm gon' do it all that ass. Your beauty is unmatched, I can't help it, I got it bad. I am just human, and I'm possessive, a bit jealous. So you better tell them that you are taken, there is no mistaking. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. We be dancing in the club, sipping on that Martell. Think this couple wanna go, take us to the hotel and feel it. Feeling on your body, grinding on me slowly. But if we take it there, just know you're mine, and I belong to you. No matter what we do, don't ever get confused. Whoa, I'll lose my mind if we take it too far. And I know you're just a flirt, I don't wanna make things too hard. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. If they try and holler, let them know that I'm the truth. You got something special you can't find in any other dude. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine. You're only mine. Don't you know that you're mine? Let them know that you're mine. And I know that these dudes gon' try and holler, 'cause you're so damn fine. But you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine, but you're mine.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how's it going?
I'm doing well, Stephen. How are you?
Can't complain. How's your week?
Pretty good. So we had good weather on Saturday, so I went out and about, just, kind of enjoyed it. And then yesterday was pretty rainy and not actually cold. We're still in the, mid to high 60s over here.
Right.
So, yeah. So it was good. So just kind of caught up. Actually, I caught up on Stranger Things, marathon that. So that was fun.
I tried to watch season 1 on Friday. I only saw one episode. I'm going to watch it, though.
Okay, so you're not addicted to the binge watching.
Well, I usually am, but I just got busy or something. I know you watch it. You have you finished it already? Yeah,
I'm done the second season already, and I started watching the it's called Stranger Things and Beyond. So it's like behind the scenes footage and interviews about the season, but you can't watch that until you've watched all of the second season, because it's a spoiler. Like, they talk about the details of what happens in the series, and it gives you a better idea of what the creators were going for in creating the series and the storyline. So don't watch that unless you finish the second season.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you see that finally in about 12 months, Steven, let us know.
12 months. Well, let's go on to the world of movie reviews.
So I saw the big movie of the weekend, which, was over 100 million and kind of keeps up the Marvel's good times train of Thor Ragnarok. And this movie follows Thor in his third outing as his own movie. And what they did this time is they kind of, and a lot of, I guess people call Thor kind of one of the weaker of the Marvel movies or the superheroes, and I guess I could a little bit agree to that. I liked the first movie a lot, but in the comic books, I never really read his comic books, and they did a good job in the first two movies, and this one takes Thor again on another journey, and he is, without spoiling too much, there's a new villain that's attacking Asgard, but in the meantime, Thor gets sidetracked to another world where he becomes a arena fighter, and there he runs into the Hulk. And the Hulk we haven't actually seen since the last Avenger movie, and so there's a lot of interaction with him and kind of a journey of him to get off that planet and save Asgard, so to speak, or Asgard, so to speak. So again, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but they did a good job with this movie. I thought, it kind of had an 80s theme. They play a little bit of 80s music. It felt like they're going a comedic angle, and in that sense, you get a lot, or I got a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy feel to it. Just that little back and forth, a little bit of tongue-in-cheek stuff. The Thor kind of, they're making jokes about him or himself, kind of self-aware moment, but. I liked it a lot. Chris Hemsworth did a great job. Tom Hiddleston is in there as Loki. Kate Blanchett plays a villain. Idris Elba's back. Jeff Goldblum also makes an appearance. So you get a good cast, and it's fun to see Thor almost kind of in a buddy comedy sense that he's working with Hulk, and we haven't had a Hulk movie in a while. So if you're a fan of the series or you're a fan of Hulk, you get a little bit more about him as well. So I thought it was really good for what it could be and for what people kind of think of the whole Thor franchise.
Yeah, I saw this movie too, and there were a lot of tie-ins, a lot of connectors from the other movies. So there's a lot of completion of other storylines, like from the Avengers. When you last see the Hulk, you'll understand what happens to him, in this movie, or what happened to him in this movie. And there's also the budding of another storyline surrounding the Hulk. I don't know if you caught that, Adam, of where they might go in the future with his story. I don't want to give away too much, but there's a mention of the whole Bruce Banner versus the Hulk situation. And I will tell you this. You get a lot more dialogue from the Hulk in this movie, and that'll give you like a glimpse into the future where they may go with the Hulk. I thought that Kate Blanchett did a wonderful job as far as being a villain in this comic book movie. I never thought that I would see her in a movie like this, but she did an awesome job. Her fight scenes were pristine. I was really shocked and surprised. I would never picture Kate Blanchett in this arena
kind of role,
but she did pretty well. Yeah, she did pretty well. There's a lot of, like you said, tongue-in-cheek, a lot of jokes, a lot of Marvel funnies, because you have to be a fan of the brand in order to get some of the things that were happening in the movie. I'm looking forward to more. It's very family-oriented. I guess that's the thing that I like the least about it, because I like my hero movies with edge to it. So this didn't have that. It, it's for the family. It was good, but me personally, I need a little edge. But it's good. Definitely check it out.
And I give it to Marvel for giving it to have direct a kind of relative newcomer, Taika Waititi, and he's a New Zealand director, and kind of his big thing was that independent film, What We Do in the Shadows, and it was kind of the I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's on Netflix, but it's a mockumentary about these like, there's a vampire, there's a I guess it's a group of vampires that live together, and it's kind of like their storyline, and it's a fun movie, a very Australian and New Zealand style comedy. But he did a great job. I mean, and just to give someone that relative to kind of this giant franchise, he did a great job of kind of rolling with it. So yeah, I'm glad to see them giving new, or not new, I guess, but unknown film directors a chance on these big franchises.
Yeah. I want to shout out to Tessa Thompson, who I thought did probably the best job in the movie. To me, she just was a standout as the Valkyrie. I've seen her in other films, and she's a wonderful actress, but I don't know, in this film she just stood out to me. So I want to shout out Tessa Thompson and hope she sticks with Marvel and does more things.
Yeah, she stuck out. And you'll know her when you see her, but she definitely did a standout role. I know she will be returning for Avengers: Infinity War. That's coming on the whole, cinematic universe. But everyone did good. Even Jeff Goldblum, who I do like.
Oh yeah.
But he kind of played Jeff Goldblum in the movie. He played himself. He's kind of become that part where he doesn't have to do too much acting per se, but he does his normal self. But he was good.
Yes, he was.
Everyone did great.
So I guess coming up, we have, of course, the Justice League. I'm looking at Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and of course I mentioned it before, The $6 Billion Man, starring Mark Wahlberg, and of course Bad Boys for Life. We got Martin Lawrence and Will Smith back again. So I'm really looking forward to it. Stop it, Adam.
Well, no, sorry. Bad Boys 2 to me marks where Michael Bay became just ridiculous and cheesy, and I feel like he did great with Bad Boys 1. Bad Boy 2 was just over the top, and that was kind of, to me, the beginning of the end for Michael Bay's kind of directing roles. Of course, Will and Martin did a great job in them, but this brings back memories, so we'll see how this one goes.
Yes.
Also, this weekend, The Murder on the Orient Express, and if you've been to the movie in the past couple of months, you've probably seen the trailer nonstop. And this one does look like an interesting one just because it has an all-star cast, and it has potential, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing this on the big screen because I think I mentioned in a previous show, most of the films that are being made for the big screen now are big CGI films or big, to-dos with technology. But this film will not have any of that. I think the cinematography is going to be awesome and it's going to be great. And I think that it may be an ode to old school cinematography. Just because it's the Orient of the Express, Murder on the Orient Express, I just think that they're going to pay homage to the original.
Yeah, I think they'll do a good job with that. And then just to add on, Stranger Things Season 2, I'm sure most of you guys who've watched Season 1 probably seen Season 2. It was not too bad. I liked it. Some cheesy elements overall, and the stories, I felt like I wanted to see more of certain characters, but they did a good job for a sequel to when you make a series, you kind of one and done it with the hope that maybe they'll make a second one, and I think they did a good job kind of moving forward with the Stranger Things series. I don't know how you felt, TK, but
no, I felt that. I think that Stranger Things is definitely a standout Netflix series. It's probably one of their, I'm going to call it their Cadillac series. They definitely solidified that with this second season. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, binge watch it. And remember, do not watch the Beyond one until you watch the second season or you'll be upset.
Fine.
And that being said, this might be their signature series now, and Orange is the New Black now that House of Cards has been suspended.
Oh, wow. Can we talk about that real quick? Like Kevin Spacey, like for real?
What are your thoughts on
that? Well, I'll say this, and Adam, you can co-sign or not co-sign. Part of being an actor, one, is that you are believable in the characters that you help create. Right. That's one. Two, the character that you create as it lends itself to the overall project, that mystery is needed. When you start tampering in real life and you start putting blemishes on the person that has to morph into these characters, it messes with the brand. So there would have been no way that these things could be looming out there about Kevin Spacey and him do his job effectively. And I've heard people talk, I heard rumbles, from the darkness about, they didn't have to end the show because the two things are separate. No. Perception is truth when it comes to this business and people creating art. Yeah, there's a degree of you have the person, then you have the character, but this is kind of serious. This is detrimental. This is crimes. Crimes are being committed. It took Winona Ryder to Stranger Things in order to get rid of her being a kleptomaniac. People still don't, some people still have a hard time. But, these are serious allegations. So, I think that they did the show justice by ending it. I feel sorry for all the people that lost their jobs because they had another season to go.
But didn't they say they were going to review whether or not they're going to end the show? But they're saying, well, how can you keep the show with him not being
technically, didn't they start production already? He just wasn't on the set yet. They had already started.
Yeah, so season 6 was going to be the last season, and it was going to end no matter what before all this happened. Then they started doing they started filming some of it, and then they they said that, it was going to end at season 6 for sure. And then, like a few days later, they said they canceled season 6 or halted season 6 completely. Okay. So right now, the word is nothing is going to come out as of yet. I will say this, and I might be in the minority. I actually did not get into House of Cards. I watched 5 episodes, 6 episodes, thought it was pretty boring. I couldn't stand his fake Southern accent. And Stephen, if you ever get a chance, you just want to watch the first couple minutes of season 1, you'll see it. He sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. And I just couldn't get past that. So I know people love the show though. So, it'll be interesting for them, but it's definitely, that was their best. That was the show that got 9, I think, Emmy nominations when it came out. It really put Netflix kind of in the forefront of the TV series. So I know that they're going to have to do a lot to transfer over. And luckily they do have, Stranger Things, Orange is the New Black, and other series that they're coming out with to kind of help take the mantle for that.
And I will say this about Netflix. They don't play when it comes to their brand and protecting it. There's been several shows that have been canceled immediately because of either they went over budget or because of issues. Netflix, not to be played with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was supposed to win, a special award at the Emmys next year, and they've already, withdrawn that. Yeah. I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know people. I mean, of course we don't know the celebrities anyway, but we fall in love with these characters, and these people are monsters.
Yeah, and you hear the Hollywood rumors because they're, supposedly it was one of the, one of our worst kept secrets in Hollywood, and I'm sure the gossip blogs talked about it. But once you get the proof, and once you see that it's actually, or once you get these people coming out, I guess I should say, and telling their stories, then you realize that these aren't just fun Hollywood rumors; these are real deal crimes.
Yeah. Yeah, the people are talking. I mean, they're coming out slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I read something today about Meryl Streep talking about Dustin Hoffman groped her when they made Kramer versus Kramer.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. Yeah. So this is the second allegation against him then, because someone else said something about him before too. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll see more in the weeks coming. But yeah. You know, it's good that everyone who can really speak out.
Right, exactly. All right, guys. Well, listen, as always, thank you so much for letting us know what to spend our money on and what to stay at home and watch on Netflix or Redbox or wherever you watch it. Hope you all have a great week, and talk to you next Monday, okay?
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, and we'll be right back after this.
We in this biatch, like we're all over our sweethearts. Self-discovery, lesson learned, we on our outfit, Hitchcock. East Coast hard, West Coast hard. Rest in peace, Tupac, poetic hip-hop. Round and round we go. Life cycle, tick-tock, it's me. Someone an anomaly, first degree of hip-hop hypocrisy. Never fit in what you motherfucking label me. As I sit back and watch, never interject. Money in the bank with the ill concept. Vision is clear, never gets complex. Chillin' on the scene like Peace Hotel. For the 1800 and vanilla Coke. Sit back and chill, maybe even smoke. Summertime lounging, good to go. Chillin' at the beach, that's how we roll. I make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
I make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it fly high.
I make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it shake it, just like sexy, baby.
We do the scene stillers, way back Steelers. Hollywood Hill, real dealers, no filters. Lounging in the cut with the cold chillers. Twisted on the sun, propaganda for fun. Run, forest, run, dream builders. Fly establishment, clean with fresh kicks. Good eating, sunbathing where the money went. Harlem bars, Harley stars, two twisted Uber cars. Stripper poles, diamond gold, church basket, tithe and hold. Private gyms, assaulting ribs, exclusive diamond fold. Friends, purple label, more stable. Life coach, now you're able. Capitans, stars, tens, freaky hints. But yo, where the money, where to make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it fly high.
I make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
I make it sexy, baby.
Make it shake it, just don't break it, get that sexy.
Scene stillers, Hollywood heel dealers, lounging in the cut with the big willers, rocking clean whips and fresh kicks. Harlem bars, Harley stars, twisted Uber cars.
Car ride by with the booming system. Throwback vibe with a good detention. Lover who you are, don't be scared to mention. Chillin' with my beats, no ill pretension. Catch the waves, dancing days, Sundays, fun days, Fridays, payday, make money any day. Whatever you do, love it and be free. And remember, I make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy,
baby.
make it super fly.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it fly high.
I make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it shake it, just don't break it, get that sexy.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly. Make it sexy, make it fly high.
Make it sexy, baby.
Make it sexy, make it super fly. Make it shake it, just don't break it, get that sexy.
Make it sexy, baby.
The vulnerable one.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Janelle, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Steven?
Doing well. How was your weekend?
I can't complain.
All right.
Of course, except for it not being long enough, but, you know,
exactly.
Other than that, yeah.
Well, I know you have some great things for us, so let's take it away.
I do. Just so you guys know, it's this Saturday is Veterans Day, so there will be tons of great sales. Of course, they haven't been announced yet because they like to keep people in suspense. But Saturday is Veterans Day, so you will be able to basically shop until you drop. But it's also a good time to get started on all of your holiday shopping if you haven't gotten started already. I'm an early bird, so I'm hoping to be able to wrap everything up, but, that's just me. But so I'll go ahead and get started. New York and Company, they're having a BOGO sale. So if you shop now, you can buy one, get one for 50% off on tons of items. Of course, there is a limit on their clearance items, but the rest of everything is just buy one, get one 50% off. Express is having a great sale on all of their sweaters. So if you shop there now, you can get any sweater for just $39.90. And that would make a great Christmas gift. The Gap is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 40% off of everything online, or you can go on into the store and you can get 50% off of everything when you shop in the store. Today is the last day to shop 9 West and get 50% off of the highest priced item of any 2 items. So basically what they're doing is buy 2 items and get 50% off of the highest priced item. So that's one to think about. Old Navy is having a sale. If you shop Old Navy, and this is an online only sale, you can get 40% off of any 1 item. Plus, you can get 30% off of off the rest of your order. So, if you get 2 orders, if you get 2 items or 10 items, you'll get 40% off of the first item and then 30% off of each additional item. You have to use code ANY, A-N-Y, and then the number 1 at checkout. So that's ANY1. Carter's is having a sale, and if you shop there now, you can get 50% off of everything in the store and online. Plus, you can get an extra 20% off of your order of $40 or more. Of course, everyone's getting in the mood for holidays now that Halloween is behind us, so they are using code HOLIDAYS at you have to use code HOLIDAYS at checkout if you are shopping online. Gymboree is also having a sale, and you can get 40% off of everything in the store. Plus, you can get an extra 25% off of your purchase with code BESTTIME if you're shopping online. Banana Republic is having a sale, and you can get 50% off of all regular priced items. Or you can travel on down to the Banana Republic factory store, and you can get an extra 40% off of your purchase. Macy's is having a sale, just for daylight savings, and it's their daylight savings event. They did the same thing last year, and if you shop there, you can get 20% off of your purchase. And this sale is going to end soon, so you have to hurry up and shop. Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th is having a sale today and tomorrow only, and you can get an extra 20% off of your purchase, and that's on everything. The Limited is back. I think I told you guys a couple of months ago that they basically went out of business. Well, I've since learned that they still have an online store, and they are also being sold exclusively at Belk. So if you're not shopping at the Limited online, you can go into Belk and you can get a couple of Limited items if you are a big fan of that store. But you can shop there now and get 50% off of select items. And last but not least, the Loft is having a sale, and you can get 40% off of all tops, sweaters, and scarves.
Awesome. They're giving away stuff now. I might need to start Christmas shopping now.
I'm telling you, this is the time to do it. And then, of course, as we get closer to the holidays, prices are going to drop.
Exactly.
So I'm getting excited, actually.
I know you are. Well, they can find all this at budgetshopaholic.com, correct?
They surely can.
Well, listen, thank you so much for making sure that we look good at a good price. You have a great week.
All right. No problem.
All right. Right back after this.
Yeah. It's your boy Rapped Out Raw, man. Stuck in the hood. Grew up with no father. Some of us grew up with no mother. But we all share the same struggle. I'm stuck in these streets, everybody should know. Tell me how we gon' eat, tell me which way to go. Tell me the police cause they let go. There's no love in these streets, I just thought you should know. I'm stuck in these streets, everybody should know. Tell me how we gon' eat, tell me which way to go. Tell me the police cause they let go. There's no love in these streets, I just thought you should know. Tell me how we gon' eat, but you talking this peace. Had to go get it, be all I can be. They wanted me finished, hooked up the IVs. At the top, I'm the greatest, Muhammad Ali. My probation still blowing this green. I done patiently waited when hard on my team. Stacking this paper put on for my team. They lock us in cages, nobody them peep. The way that we label say the police. How the can you pop abandon the seed? Mama should love you, she pray on her knees. The reaper don't come, leave your brains in the streets. Hospital bed, flat my head to beat. The dirt with the nine, now I'm signed to the street. For working my pound that my mama can eat. Daughter can shine, son get some sneaks. Let's turn out of jail, put him back in the street. He going through hell and he living through me. All this out and down, I just wish you could see. I just wish you could see. I'm stuck in these streets, everybody should know. Tell me how we gon' eat, tell me which way to go. Tell me the police cause they let go. There's no love in these streets, I just thought you should know. I'm stuck in these streets, everybody should know. Tell me how we gon' eat, tell me which way to go. Tell me the police cause they let go. There's no love in these streets, I just thought you should know. I've been waiting some time, constantly thinking, got shit on my mind. Constantly drinking, ambition and grind. Whatever it takes, put my pride to the side. Know they gon' hate, they don't want me to shine. Look me dead in the face, but you fake by the smile. To get on my level, gon' take you a while. They sent me to jail, I took it and smiled. They gave me a bill, I took it to trial. They put me through hell, just look at me now. Look at me now. I'm stuck in these streets, everybody should know. Tell me how you gon' eat, tell me which way to go. Tell me the police cause they let go. There's no love in these streets, I just thought you should know. I'm stuck in these streets, everybody should know. Tell me how you gon' eat, tell me.
Saint Soprano, you know how it go, everything iced out, Black Forbes Entertainment, Bully Fam International. We listening to Stephen Knight Show. Tune in at #1 station in Atlanta.
Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Hey, Ron Cosby, how's it going?
Stephen Knight, Stevie K, what's going on, brother?
I can't complain. You know, it's Monday, and we survived it. And so, you know, how's law school treating you?
Man, it's crunch time, brother. Like, it's, yeah I literally just finished up a class tonight. So yeah, I'm kind of in study mode. My head's got all kind of, you know, numbers and cases and everything in my head right now. So yes, it's a lot going on. Yeah. How was your weekend? Like,
my weekend was cool. It was kind of laid back. I just hung out with some friends here and there. Nothing crazy. Yesterday was my mom's birthday, so I you know, just pay some tribute to her, you know. And, it was a good weekend.
Yes.
How was your weekend?
It was nice. Let's see, watched my college football on Saturday, and I did not watch any NFL football on Sunday, but Sunday night, man, is like Atlanta reality night. Like, I mean, Bravo. It's just stacked. You got the Real Housewives of Atlanta back on. You got the Escape show situation going on, which is actually, I thought, was quite good. I mean, it was pretty. It was pretty good. I'm assuming that you're going to talk about that on like Hot Topics or something, or
we'll discuss that in Hot Topics.
Okay, so I'm not going to get into full detail with it. And then also Married to Medicine's back on. So
you know what's interesting about Dr. Eugene and his wife? They go to my gym, and so Friday, Friday I was at the gym, and I was
with Toya. You mean Toya?
Yeah, Toya. Yeah. And so Toya was working out with, I guess, a friend of hers, whoever, and Dr. Eugene was working out by himself. But at one point, he and I were like standing beside each other working out. I wanted to ask him so bad, don't you want to come on my show?
But why didn't you?
Because because I don't like bothering people at the gym. I've done it before.
I would have asked him. He could either say yes or no. Get out my face, leave me alone, stop pestering me.
Well,
he seems like a really nice guy. Like, he probably would have been.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I actually had Toya's number because there was another reality show that was no longer out anymore, and the couple, they were on our show. And so he gave me Toya's number to call her about it, but I just didn't feel comfortable calling her.
Wow. And you haven't called her?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, Steven, you should reach out to him.
I'll reach out to him in a gym, but I'm not going to call. I don't want someone to call my number.
Oh, well, yeah, don't. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah, I see something. At least, reach out to them at the gym.
Right. So what's going on in the world
Steven,
of sports?
you would be surprised that they probably have heard of you. You never know.
Well,
they might have heard of the show. This is the Stephen Knight Show, bro. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Hello?
Exactly.
Ask somebody.
What's going on in the world of sports?
Falcons lost.
Yeah.
Again.
The Hawks won.
Okay. One bird loses, the other bird wins. Okay.
You're right.
I mean, yeah. Hawks. The Hawks are not good as of right now. It's a young season, but okay. Colin Kaepernick still is not signed, and I just wish people would just let it go. He's not going to get signed, y'all.
But his attorney,
a wrap, but he's not.
Didn't his attorney say that they expect him to be signed by the end of the week? This is last week. What happened?
He's not going to get. They are not. Do you think that they can actually pressure these rich old men?
Right.
A particular, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Audience, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be, I just say rich old white men. Okay.
Right.
You ain't gonna pressure them to no. If they're not gonna do it, they're not gonna do it. They're just not. And so, yeah, Colin, I think he's suing the NFL or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Didn't he get a book deal? He just signed a book deal.
He has a book deal. I'm like, Colin, focus on that book.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it. Man.
And his birthday was last week, so happy belated birthday, John.
Yeah, that's right, Colin. Yeah. Happy birthday. But, yeah, the whole getting back in the NFL, if I was him, that would not be my main focus right now. Now, suing them, okay, yes, sue them, absolutely. Sue them down. But being on the team, nah. It just doesn't feel right. I would fear for his safety. I wouldn't even. I personally would not go there. I would again to write the book and kind of push through that way. But yeah, he's still not signed. He's not going to be signed.
What were your thoughts? Did you hear the owner of Papa John's coming out and saying that the sales have plummeted due to the protest, the NFL protest? Did you hear about that? And he's under fire.
What's up with these Republicans now that are because he is a Republican, just in case people didn't know, he's a Republican. What happened to the whole pull yourself up by your bootstraps? You can't blame anybody else for your failures in life. You got to take self-responsibility.
Yeah.
But now it seems like in this era of Donald Trump and everything, it's everybody else's fault. It's not your fault. It's everybody else's fault. Whine, woo, woo, woo. It's everybody else's fault. It's crazy.
Well, if he thought that the sales dropped then, they even dropped worse after he made that statement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How about the sales drop because maybe people, don't like your pizza? That could be B. Or hold on. Or maybe your pizza is okay, but your competitors are offering a better product.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It happens. You're not going to be number one forever. It's just not going to step your game up. Instead of whining and complaining and saying that it's this person's fault or it's this company's fault, how about it's your fault?
Yeah.
Change up your recipe.
He said, the NFL has hurt us. We're disappointed that the NFL and its leadership did not resolve this. Leadership starts at the top, and this is an example of poor leadership.
On his part, he's the leader of Papa John's. The NFL does not own Papa John's. Am I missing something? Can somebody tell me? Now, I know that they are the official wink wink pizza of the NFL, but that's marketing. That's all marketing. That's all, Papa John's probably paid the NFL a little bit here if they can say that they are the official pizza of the NFL. It's marketing, people. Marketing. Yeah, it's marketing. Okay. Yeah. So dang, Papa John, step your pizza game up, bro. That's all.
Right.
Step it up. Quit complaining. And again, he's actually helping his competitors because now people are really going to turn on him even more, and they're going to Pizza Hut, Domino's. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's true.
And for the record, I like Papa John's pizza. I did.
I do too.
I like it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Emphasis was.
Right.
But there are better products out there for cheaper price, for a little bit.
Especially these
I'm not saying cheaper is
now.
better, but the competitors, Domino's, have stepped up. They were crap. Domino's was crap for years. Now they're actually good, and their prices are good. They have really, really good specials. I mean, come on, compete.
Yeah.
Quit complaining and compete. Man.
Exactly.
All right. Whew. Man. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, man. Come on.
Right.
Take responsibility for your own company. Quit complaining, blaming others for your own failures.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, the Falcons lost again. They're not looking too well. It's the middle of the season, so anything can happen. There's some second half of the season. We'll see what happens. The Giants, the New York Giants.
Bruh,
it's bad. They're bad. It's bad.
They're bad.
They're bad. Like, not Michael Jackson bad. They're like
the opposite.
They're like horrible. Like, they suck.
Wow.
So, like, their fans now are actually coming to the games wearing paper bags over their faces.
No.
Yeah, it's gotten to the it's gotten bad. It's gotten bad. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Again, Houston Astros. Just in case I hadn't mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. Congratulations, Houston Astros, World Series champions.
Very first.
Good.
That's crazy.
Very first. Yes. Kudos to them. Good job, Houston.
Most definitely.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else, man. Really, what's going on? Oh, Georgia. I'm sorry, Georgia. UGA won. UGA is still undefeated. Yes, and this should have been what I should have first mentioned. In the playoff poll, in the college football playoffs poll that came out last week, Georgia's actually ranked number 1.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so they are ranked higher than Alabama is in the playoff poll.
Wow.
In the Associated Press poll and everything, Alabama still ranked 1 and Georgia 2nd. But in the playoffs, which really counts, it's actual playoffs, count. Georgia's seeded number 1. So.
Okay. Go ahead, Jordan.
Good job,
Georgia, we see you.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Right. I see you, Georgia. I see you.
Right.
I see you. Yeah. So kudos to Georgia. That's it, man. That's pretty much it in sports.
All right. Well, as always, we thank you so much, for weighing in, and tell everybody where they can follow you.
First name, last name, Twitter, book.
Aaron Cosby.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I guess I did. Yeah. Well, people typing in first name, last name, literally first name. Yeah. Aaron Cosby. Aaron Cosby. Like Aaron, but with 1 A. Aaron.
1 A. Right.
1 A.
All right, Aaron. As always, thank you, man. Have a great week, and don't study too hard.
Thank you, brother.
All right. We'll right back after this.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the First Lady Faith Evans, and you're listening to the Stephen Knight Show.
Well, that's our show. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Special shout out to Darnell Moore for joining us. Follow this man. He knows what he's doing. He has a great message for all of us. Listen, have a great week, and I'll see you again next Monday. Good night, and God bless.
Tonight it's all eyes on me. Everything's gonna be alright. And when we get there, I'ma see a pretty, pretty, pretty young thing. I'ma ask her to take my hand. Head to the floor, we gon' dance. And when we get there,